This book is called Volcano Rising by Elizabeth Rusch, illustrated by Susan Swan. Kaboom! Most people think volcanoes are either sound asleep or blowing their tops off in fiery, ash-spewing catastrophes. But volcanoes are not just destructive. Much more often, volcanoes are creative. They grow taller and wider. They form majestic mountains, and they build new islands where there were none before. Both creative and destructive eruptions start with gooey melted rock called magma. Magma from deep in the earth rises up a gigantic straw-like tube to a vent or opening. If magma makes it to the earth's surface, it's called lava. A burst of lava is an eruption. This shows the magma chamber. The magma goes up the vent, or up the tube to the vent up here at the top, and as it comes out, it becomes lava. Magma is made up of gases as well as melted and partially melted rock. As it rises and fills huge underground chambers, pressure builds and builds and builds until the magma is forced up and out a volcano's vent. Erupted magma can spurt out and flow down a volcano like red hot syrup. This lava, fluid lava, cools to form either spiky chunks called a'a or smooth, ropey surfaces called pahoehoe. Those are Hawaiian words. Magma can also burst out in solid chunks called tephra. Tephra can be tiny bits, ash, lightweight gas-filled pieces, pumice, or solid rocks and boulders, lava bombs. But what determines whether lava erupts peacefully or dangerously? Pow! Gases blast lava out in an explosive eruption. Hiss! Gases and lava slowly seep out in a creative eruption. Gas determines whether an eruption creates or destroys. Rising gas pushes lava out of a volcano. In destructive eruptions, gases get trapped inside thick magma or are blocked by plugs in the vent. Pressure builds until lava, ash, and gases explode all at once, like soda from a shaken can. In creative eruptions, vents are open and gases escape slowly, like when you carefully unscrew a soda bottle. Lava bubbles and sprays like water from a hose or oozes out like toothpaste from a tube. Layer upon layer of lava piles up, forming lava domes. Over time, peaceful eruptions can build mountains. Creative eruptions occur 3 times more often than violent ones. They happen all over the world, in all kinds of different places. This is a violent eruption, and this is a creative one. A creative eruption can start with the ground swelling a tiny bit each year. Magma gathering underground creates a bulge that may one day make a new mountain. In the Cascade Range in Central Oregon, three composite volcanoes, massive cones made from layers of both lava and ash, sit in a tight cluster, as if they're having a tea party. They're called the Three Sisters, North, Middle, and South Sister. But wait, what's this? A large area next to South Sister rose 4 inches, 10 centimeters, between 1996 and 2000, and continues to rise. This uplift is caused by magma pooling a few miles under the surface. Scientists think a new volcano, West Sister, may join the party sometime, giving us yet another spectacular mountain to explore. There they are, North, Middle, and South Sister. Sometimes creation happens more quickly. Volcanoes can appear out of nowhere. One day, the ground cracks and ash spurts out, forming a new volcano. In 1943, as a farmer plowed his cornfield in Paracutin, Mexico, ash exploded from a crack in the ground and rained down, creating a deep cinder cone. In a day, the cone reached 164 feet high. In a week, it stood 500 feet tall. Ash slowly buried the farm and nearby villages, but the family and villagers moved to land close by and began farming the rich, ash-fertilized fields. After a year, Paracutin's cone was more than 1,000 feet tall. After 9 years, the cinder cone volcano stood more than 1,300 feet. Paracutin is considered one of the wonders of the world. It created a mountain, fertilized fields, and gave scientists a chance to study the fast growth of a new volcano. Here's day 1. Volcanoes even make mountains underwater. If these submarine volcanoes grow high enough, their tips form new islands. 3/4 of volcanic activity takes place deep in the ocean. In 1963, a submarine volcano near Iceland erupted to create the island of Surtsey. In a few years, the island rose more than 550 feet above sea level and grew to be more than a mile across. Moss and lichen took hold of the lava rocks. A bush grew, and then other plants followed. Finally, seals, puffins, and other animals began breeding there. Surtsey now hosts a small hut for researchers, a new laboratory for watching what happens on a new island. Some volcanoes secretly erupt under glaciers, hiding growing mountains deep under thick ice. Grímsvötn, Iceland's most frequently active volcano, lies beneath the country's largest glacier, Vatnajökull, with only a bit of its rim exposed. Underneath the vast ice cap is a hot spot, a place where lots of magma from the Earth's mantle rises to the surface. This makes for a very creative volcanic environment, causing Iceland to constantly grow in size. Creative eruptions can continue for a really long time. Whoosh! Fountains of red-hot lava squirt high into the air. Gurgle, stinky lava streams to the shore. Tss, fluid lava hits the ocean, steaming, and hardens to form new land. For more than 25 years, shield volcano Kilauea on the Big Island of Hawaii has been in a state of creative eruption. Shield volcanoes have lots of vents, allowing runny lava to leak from cracks to form broad mounds that are shaped like shields. Kilauea's constant eruption has added more than 500 acres to the island. That's more than 314 soccer fields. No one works or plays soccer on this new acreage yet, but they will. After all, where would the people of Hawaii live if not for the creative eruptions that help build all of their islands? Most volcanoes have both destructive and creative eruptions. Wham! They blow their tops, then spurt, gurgle, scrape. They get down to the business of building a new dome. There's a lava dome. In 1980, Mount St. Helens in Washington state exploded, losing 1,300 feet off its top, shooting a huge black ash cloud higher than airplanes fly and mowing down massive trees as if they were toothpicks. Right after the eruption, the volcano began oozing squishy lava pancakes, building a new dome 876 feet high. That's the height of a 50-story building. Then, after a 13-year rest, the volcano started pushing out huge slabs of hardened lava so fast it could fill a bedroom in a minute. It built a dome higher than the Empire State Building. Someday, Mount St. Helens will completely rebuild its summit, all 1,300 feet, or more. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Kabam! Boom! Even the most dangerous volcanoes, supervolcanoes, can do creative work. Between gigantic eruptions, they can erupt gently for many years, repairing the scarred land. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, the Yellowstone supervolcano had 3 gigantic eruptions that blanketed most of the United States with ash. So much magma exploded out from underground that the surface collapsed, swallowing mountains and creating a gigantic crater called a caldera. Since the last destructive eruption, 640,000 years ago, 30 gentle lava flows have nearly filled in the caldera. Some of these lava flows have been thick and widespread, as large as 130 square miles, twice the size of Washington, D.C. But the flow oozed slowly, moving at most a few hundred feet per day, smoothing out the land over thousands of years. To save roads, houses, and harbors, people have tried to stop creative eruptions, but even gentle lava flows are hard to halt. Engineers in Italy tried to dam lava flowing from Mount Etna. They diverted the flow but couldn't stop it. The U.S. Army bombed Mauna Loa in Hawaii to redirect lava from the city of Hilo. They missed the target, but luckily the flow ceased on its own. For 5 months, Icelanders sprayed millions of gallons of water on lava from Heimaey volcano, hoping to halt the lava flow by cooling it. They slowed the flow, but still the eruption added 1 square mile of new land to the island and narrowed the entrance to the town's harbor. Still, people are rarely hurt by creative eruptions because they can outwalk or outrun them. In fact, we inch up as close as we can to these eruptions, even underwater, to watch the landscape changing. Scientists send underwater robots to hover feet from submarine volcanoes, observing ash and pillow lava pulsing from the vent, waiting for an island to be born. Visitors stroll right up to the bubbling lava leaking out of Kilauea, feeling the heat, squinting at the red-hot glow as an island expands. Hikers climb to Mount St. Helens' crater rim, smelling the rotten egg gases, hearing the rumbling of new rocks being made, watching as a volcano rebuilds itself. Creative eruptions give us all a chance to witness the power of a volcano rising. And here is the vocabulary from the book, which we know also as a glossary. It tells us all the different words that we might not know. It even gives us some pronunciations like Pahoehoe, which is a Hawaiian lava rock with a smooth, ropey surface formed by fast-moving liquid lava, and tephra, chunks of lava, large and small, produced by volcanic eruptions. This is called a bibliography, and the bibliography tells us where we got information for this book. So it's giving credit to all the people who did the work and the research before using it in this book. And here's where they tell you that you can learn more. These are the names of some books that you could look at. You can also get online and look at www.volcano.si.edu/index.cfm for more information about volcanoes. Hope you enjoyed the book.